All right, let's dive into something that I think a lot of us have felt, but maybe never really put a name to. We're talking about that intense, almost urgent need to walk fast. And it turns out, this isn't just about being in a rush. No, it goes a lot deeper. It's actually about the way your brain is wired.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You're walking down the street, you're in your groove, and then bam, you hit a wall of people just ambling along. And this rage bubbles up inside you, and you're thinking, why am I getting so angry about this? It feels totally out of proportion, maybe even makes you feel like a jerk. But what if it's not a character flaw at all?
I think most of us, we default to that first column. We just tell ourselves, ugh, I'm so impatient. But the reality is actually way more interesting. It might just be that your mind is literally running at a higher RPM than the physical world around you, and your body is just trying its best to keep up.
And that right there is the core idea we're going to unpack. This isn't about you being a bad person. It's a physiological thing. It's a fundamental mismatch between the speed of your thoughts and the speed of your feet. So let's put a name on this concept.
It's called mental velocity. And it's exactly what it sounds like, a state where your brain's processing speed is just in a totally different league from the world around you. And that gap, that speed mismatch, well, that's where all that sidewalk frustration comes from. So what's actually powering this high-speed engine in your head?
Well, it turns out there are 4 key psychological drivers that create this whole experience. Let's break them down, one by one, and see what's really going on under the hood.
First up, we've got continuous processing. This is for those of you whose brains just don't have an off switch, you know? It's constantly analyzing, running simulations of what might happen next, connecting dots. It's like an engine that's always idling high.
So here's the thing. Your brain is already working 3 steps ahead. When you're forced to slow down physically, it's like trying to run brand new complex software on an ancient dial-up modem. It's just painful. It disrupts your natural rhythm. So you walk fast not just to get there quicker, but to keep your body in sync with your mind, to maintain that cognitive flow.
All right, driver number 2 is what we call forward-focused thinking. This is all about having a really intense, goal-oriented mindset. Once your brain sets a target, could be a huge project at work, or it could just be the coffee shop on the corner, it immediately starts calculating the absolute most efficient way to get there.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. To a brain that's already run the numbers and figured out the perfect path, a slow person isn't just another person. They're an obstacle, a glitch in the matrix. That feeling of annoyance you get? Let's call it efficiency frustration. It's your brain getting mad that someone is messing up its beautiful, perfect simulation.
Okay, our third driver is cognitive load. The easiest way to think about this is that your brain's attention is a limited resource, kind of like the RAM on your computer. Every little thing you do uses up some of that processing power. And here's the problem. When you're walking, a lot of the time your brain is in deep thought mode, solving problems, being creative. But when you get stuck in a slow crowd, your brain is forced to switch to navigation mode. Now it has to track all these random movements, predict where people are going. It's a huge waste of mental energy. These slow walkers are literally stealing your precious cognitive bandwidth that you wanted to use for something important.
And that brings us to our 4th and final driver, high cognitive stimulation needs. To put it simply, really active brains get bored really easily. And for a brain like this, boredom isn't just boring. It can actually feel physically unpleasant, almost painful.
I mean, think about it. A slow, plodding walk offers basically 0 new information for a brain that's hungry for it. This understimulation can even dial down the release of dopamine, the feel-good chemical. So what do? You speed up. Walking fast becomes a way to self-regulate, to generate your own kinetic stimulation, to keep your brain happy and engaged.
So when you roll all 4 of those drivers together, what you get is something we can call the tempo clash. It's this fundamental conflict between your internal hardware and the world's external software.
Let's just visualize this for a second. Imagine your brain's internal operating system is humming along up here at like 100 miles per hour. It's processing, optimizing, just flying. But the actual physical world, especially a crowded sidewalk, it's moving at a crawl, maybe 10 miles per hour. That huge gap between these 2 speeds, that's where all the friction happens. This table really nails the difference. For a lot of people, walking is passive. It's a way to chill out, look around. But for a brain with high mental velocity, walking is an active mission. The whole purpose is to execute a plan, to optimize a route. It's a tool to keep your body and your mind in sync.
So that feeling you get, it's not really anger, not in the classic sense. It's the friction. It's the heat being generated by this massive tempo clash between your mind and the world.
So let's put one final, really powerful frame on all of this. I want you to start thinking of your brain as a high-performance computer operating system.
And after everything we've looked at, the real reason you get so frustrated with slow walkers, it's not because you're a mean person or impatient or rude. It's because they are lag in your operating system. That's all they are. A glitch, a buffer, that spinning beach ball of death in a program that's meant to run perfectly. Your brain has already finished the task. It's already at the destination, mentally. And the frustration is just your body being stuck behind, desperately trying to catch up.
And so I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you find yourself weaving through a crowd, feeling that frustration bubble up, just ask yourself, are you really in a hurry? Or is your mind just brilliantly way ahead of the curve?